Drama, drama, drama. Hi guys, welcome back to the podcast. It is your Accline Creative Girls. I am Sierra and this is
Ashley Wynn.
I am your Chief Marketing Technologist and Ashley is
the Head of Client Relations.
And today we're getting crazy with it, you guys. It has been a wild ride this past week. We're going to talk about the Ace family divorce. Catherine and Austin, it's happening. Here are our thoughts. Ashley, you just learned about the Ace family. What do you think about their whole brand?
I think it's a very tarnished brand. I think it's very hard to move forward after you Google this family's name in so many different, I guess, scandals at this point are associated with them. I didn't find a lot of savory information about them. And it's a family at the end of the day. There's kids involved. So it's a learning process of how big this family got and now to have all this tied to them. What do you feel about their brand?
I think that they are entertaining to a lot of the world. I think that they find them to be a soap opera that just never, ever, ever ends. So I think they have that going for them. However, it is also totally playing in the opposite direction. Like, you can never have a normal job. These people could never go work at an office space somewhere because people just know all their business. They're kind of clout hungry and always doing the most. Like you said, there's a lot of scandals. Every kind of business that they try and make, it has had some sort of scandal wrapped up into it. So it is a brand that is just on 1,000 every day, all the time. And it's just a wild ride. What I think moving forward is, or at least what I want to know in the comments and from you, how do you think this is going to impact them? Because they're being divorced now. And because you kind of jumped into this situation, a lot of people usually think that Austin and the McBroom family kind of were the ones bringing down Catherine and Shyla, Landon's ex-baby mama, girlfriend, wife, whatever. How do you think these will fare, the women will fare outside of this now?
That's an interesting point because that's a thought I had. I mean, at the end of the day, they're both releasing statements, and I did watch both of their individual statements and what their fan base was saying and what news outlets were reporting about the general consensus of taking this information in and what the initial reactions are from everybody. That what led them to here, a lot of people started to feel like they couldn't trust this brand anymore. They didn't believe a lot of the things that this brand was collectively doing, whether it be giveaways or makeup lines or boxing matches. They just started to feel disgenuine of everything they were doing. And that made them want to get away from the spotlight. I guess they started posting less frequently and not really revealing as much. And it all just started to create a lot of distrust from their fan base. And then when the individual stories came out of each partner's take on why they were dissolving the partnership, it was reported that when she came out with hers, she seemed more genuine and she seemed more happy. And everyone seemed to feel like she was in a good place about this and almost kind of relieved. And then once again, when his came out, he was still trying to play a little bit of a victim and a little bit sad and just a little bit manipulative with the fan base that was tuning in to see what he said or had to say. And that seems to me like the women are going to fare well and they'll pivot and they'll still be mothers and people will still be interested and generally feel connected and concerned for them and whatever ventures they're doing now, and that they are maybe going to view him as someone who is still scandal creating.
I think I agree with you. I think that you have a huge point there because, like you said, a lot of people do find that Catherine maybe was being brought down by Austin, and I think that you can see that in a lot of the videos that they made and stuff like that. I mean, I didn't follow their channel super duper closely, but I saw some of their content, and a lot of their content was like pranks and a lot of Austin going off and showing off his car, like be like, oh, I got a new car and I'm gonna go take it to my daughter's school. His daughter's like five years old, and he wants to go take this, supercar to a kindergarten to show off to kindergartners. And it's like, that's not super grown-up behavior. That is child behavior. And yeah, maybe it works well on YouTube and social media, but at the same time, it's like, oh my God, you have to be married to that. Like, as an adult woman, you have to be married to that. You've got multiple kids, not just the one, but they have like multiple kids. And this is your every single day. So I think that other grown-up women specifically also would be like, yeah, I understand the plight that she's going through, and I would maybe continue to follow her knowing that she kind of let that go, because, you know, sometimes women dream of that and being able to just like follow their own trajectory somewhere. And I think that they don't think that she's as problematic. Like you said, I think they think that she's kind of the better of the two, and so they want to give her a chance on her own. Plus, a lot of people are super interested. They've been saying it for years. They wanted her to have her own channel, and she kind of was, you know, kicking the idea about, but she never followed through with it. So I think they still would be super duper interested to see what she has to say, and she has a short opportunity. I don't think she has a long opportunity, but I think she has a short opportunity to prove herself as not part of that mess that the McBrooms are.
Yeah, I think this is all a lesson ultimately in damage control. When you have a platform and your name is tied to it, just being able to quickly pivot and be strategic about self-preservation. She still has opportunities, but they're of the now. And that's just the reality of being an influencer or being a social figure and having you as yourself as your own brand. I think that she needs to make smart decisions right now and go as quickly as she can, which she has everything at her disposal to do it. She just needs the right team around her. And he seems like someone who still isn't putting that forethought there. Like, you could tell in her video, it was more like someone who is actively moving on from it. And his was very weird and just kind of spinning in circles, and just gave me everything I needed to know kind of about the kind of person he was right away. And this was all my first introduction to all of this. And yeah, like, he seems like someone who is going to stay in that irrelevancy. He's going this direction, she's going that direction, is just the reality of it. And she needs to get away now while she can. And there's a lot of people who do get stuck in that. And so she just has to kind of take what she's built and go.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely agreed. So with that being said, to quickly kind of bring in a closing point here and talk about the rest of the family, because you have the Ace family. That's how they were known. It was, like I said, Austin, Catherine, Landon, Shyla. The parents were mildly involved. A lot of the kids' involvement. What do you think is going to happen to the Ace family as a whole now that both the McBroom brothers have been divorced from their significant others? Do you think it's gonna be a thing still, or totally just dissolve?
I think that behind the scenes, what they need to be doing and what they kind of alluded at wanting to do is that they wanted to pivot it to just being the kids' channel, but someone has to manage that. And obviously the women in that scenario need to take hold and protect that, because like you said, like, the men were doing flashy things. They weren't doing actual like child oriented parental things. They were doing young men things, and none of it was appropriate. Like, children's channels are really lucrative, and if they do it right, then they could obviously take the platform that they've already built and, you know, be able to segue it into something that would be like a mini Mr. Beast and things like that, that are all really lucrative and started with, you know, young kids who then had a trajectory. But I don't see the family as a brand being able to continue because there's too much drama tied to it. And people don't want to see that in a family dynamic. That's what made them so popular, is the fact that they were like this happy family that a lot of people were discovering during the pandemic times to watch. So they're not going to be able to preserve the brand as it is. It's basically, how do you break a brand up at this point?
That's true. It's the force of a brand. So Yeah, well, thank you guys. Let us know in the comments what you guys think about the Ace family, Catherine and Austin divorce, what you think is going to happen. But that's it. Like, comment, subscribe. See you later.
Stay tuned.